We've been talking on Where Pompey Walks about Pompey's inability to score goals. Now we're going to have to talk about their inability to defend them as well. And you know what that means? It's a recipe for relegation. Hope you're well. These four aren't. We'll get into the disappointing result at Birmingham City alongside a host of other things on 20 minutes of Pompey chat. I'll start a headline this week, as Callum says. We don't want to play possession football. And by the way, where's that high press gone? Coming up this week then, should we just revert back to last year? Why aren't we? We're getting these four to predict where Pompey will finish now that a quarter of the season has gone. Which player needs a rocket, given it's, of course, Bonfire Night this week. And, of course, we are up to the letter E in our Pompey A to Z. But more important things to come. First of all, oh my goodness, Birmingham City, Sasha, where do we start?
Yeah, I mean, they did really well last season. They broke the record. We know why they broke the record. But, yeah, they were all over us that whole game. Especially the first 10 or so minutes, it was scary. They could have been 4-5 up in the first opening 10, and we had to save a penalty in the middle of all that. It was just, yeah, it was a day to forget for sure.
Yeah, I mean, has there any signs, Jake, that this has been coming? I mean, from a defensive point of view, you've been pretty decent this season, but what went wrong here?
Just the changes, I think. We made so many changes. And they just baffled me as to how many we made, especially defensively. Some enforced, obviously Ogilvy was ill, so that was an enforced change. But as Sasha said, it was just like an onslaught from the first 10-15 minutes and could have easily been 6 or 7 and just, yeah, really bad day at the office. It reminded me a little bit of Stoke away last year.
You've just forgotten about that as well. I mean, it's fair to say last week we were calling out for changes, weren't we? And he did deliver the changes, but yeah, it didn't quite work out as planned.
No, it certainly didn't. But then, for me, I would argue it's nothing to do with changes. It's more about basics. Again, I think this is sums up our season. We're not doing the basics. Basic defending from set pieces. It was like Norwich at home all again. We gift them goals from set pieces, and the third one was offside, but to be honest, that's irrelevant. We just, like I say, we brought in Michael Doyle to be our set piece coach, and for some reason dumped Joe Perdomo from it. And on the evidence of yesterday, that's not turning out to be the best decision, but maybe there's more to it than that.
Okay, let's look at some more tweets then, shall we? J-Dub says, the 4 against obviously is concerning, but it's another 0, Sam, that has the alarm bells ringing full volume. We don't look like scoring goals, and it will be our undoing if he doesn't solve it quickly. We have the joint worst attack in the league. Even our 3 wins were all by 1-0. We are hardly convincing. Yeah, how does he solve this problem of lack of goals, Sam?
Well, Halloween certainly came a day later because we got several ghosts up front by the looks of it. It's just service. We don't have any service, and bringing on those 3 crucial players in the 52nd minute, too late in the game. The game's gone. I don't know why. I mean, it draws back to last week. We're not playing Chappers in his position. I think it's just a service. We know Bishop can score goals in the Championship. He did it last season, even with a dodgy heart. So it's just, I think it's just a service that he's getting. And yeah, it's playing players out of position, I think, is the biggest thing that he's has to tackle right now.
Where's the responsibility lie for Birmingham, Sasha? Was it with the players or was it with Mousinho?
I think it's a bit of both. The basics weren't performed yesterday. I feel like there wasn't a single player that played well, apart from maybe Bursic for saving the penalty, but that's about it. Yeah, we played like a League Two side. It was really poor. It was embarrassing, and Mousinho has to take some accountability for it as well because he put out that team. He's the one that leads the training every single day during the week in between matches. I don't think it's just Mousinho's fault, and I don't think the fault lies on just the players, but it needs to be sorted out quick because it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Harry says there's no mention in his after-match comments of the 0 shots on target, Jake. This poster says there's a complete lack of work rate and effort levels. What happened to our press from the front that worked so well last season? We're getting the basics completely wrong. Squad depth currently is looking weak, to say the least. Do you agree about this press from the front comment, Jake? I mean, it's come out from a few tweets this weekend. Why aren't we doing that?
Well, I think mentioned last week. I just think we've been found out a little bit. I think teams know that we're going to press high, so instead of playing around the back like they would do last season, they're going a little bit more direct, and we don't know how to deal with it. So I think we've just been found out in the second season.
Yeah, Phil, do you agree?
Yeah, to a point. Yeah, absolutely. I wish I knew the answer, to be honest, but I think, performances, we saw it last season, performances like yesterday are going to happen, right? But they've happened yesterday in the context of 3 in a row that we've lost. So it's starting to turn, unfortunately. But I still retain faith in the players and Mousinho and the coaching team to turn it around. But that's probably just me with my blue tinted specs on. I'll go in the next week's game or this week's games against Wrexham and Hull thinking we can win them, but that's probably more my heart than my head. But yeah, that's
okay. Let's look at a couple more here. Peter says it was awful. We should have lost 9-0. Got to change something for Wednesday night, which is a must-win game now, Sam. Or we're staring at relegation. Got such going, guys. We've gone backwards. You get your opinion on this one. Since Pack and Dazelle pairing, the performances and results by both are worse. Dazelle is particularly poor in the last few. Do you agree?
Yeah, I would, to an extent. I mean, he hasn't made any impact on the game, and last season he was, for a good run of games, he was outstanding. And even towards the beginning of this season, I remember him playing pretty good. But yeah, I agree with that. We definitely need. I feel like we don't have much of a spine in our team, and that's definitely got to get figured out. In regards to Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday is a must-win game. Although, after seeing what Wrexham did to Coventry, I don't know, but it's a classic Pompey way that we'll just scrap out and beat them 1-0. And we're still above the Scummers, so that's.
Can't keep using that every week.
It's the only thing we got, Mark. It's the only thing we got right now.
Sasha Harley says, thank God for that. Please can we dig up Connor Farrell and have a left back? I mean, even look at a team like Preston. They've had an issue with the left back position and got Jamal Lewis in ASAP. We need to make more use of the free agent space that we have. What do you reckon to that?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like at this stage of the season, bringing in free agents, you're just getting all the rejects that nobody else wants. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I think all the good free agents have been snapped up by now. So the ones left aren't good enough. I don't know who Connor Farrell is, but Jacob Farrell will be a good addition to the starting 11. But yeah, I mean, Jacob Farrell, even though when he has played, he's done quite well, he's just so injury prone. I'd give him one game and he'll be injured again. So what difference does it really make?
Yeah. I think you mentioned this one last week, or somebody did. Jake Lee says, it's a joke. Letting players like Richie go and replacing them with players that couldn't get into Sunday League, recruiting a bunch of injury-prone players and Aussies, not up to the intensity of English football. Playing players that position, shocking decisions are costing us. Anything on there you disagree with, Jake?
Not really, no. I mean, to be honest, if you look at last season's squad, it's difficult to argue that we've got a better squad this season than what we had last season. So yeah, I can't really disagree with that. And it is, you can just see the crowd turning. That's the issue. I think if we lose Wednesday, especially at home, you can see the crowd turning on the management and on the ownership, and that's when it all starts getting a little bit ugly, like it did when we had the Cowleys a few years ago. So yeah, I can't disagree with what they said in that tweet at all there, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, Phil, this was under pressure, I think, this time last year, I think, roughly. And then he put a run together. Well, how much under pressure is he, do you think, compared to where we were last year with him?
I think probably a bit more. I think in a way, with it being our first season back and the way the fixtures landed at the start of the season, he probably got away with it to a degree. But the concerning thing for me is his decision making. I mentioned last week, his decision making, his team selection, and that. There's something just not quite right. Again, listen, I still have faith in him. I've seen a lot of dross over the years, so there's still enough quality in that squad and that management team to keep us up. That's not a problem. But the problem is, are we just treading water, or are we actually going to go somewhere? That's the problem.
Right. Let us know what you think in the comments on all the above. We are a quarter of the way through the season, though, now, Sam. So it's obviously a point for you to reflect and give us another number between 1 and 24, please. See if you've gone up or down based on that first game of the season. Where do you think Pompey will finish?
I predicted 10th, so I kind of look like a clown right now. I still think probably we'll turn it round, so I'll go 14th.
Okay.
So, yeah, I still think we'll turn it around, yeah.
Sasha?
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll turn it around, but we'll leave it quite late. I'm going to say 16th again.
Okay. Jake?
My worry is that the teams below us at the moment, them like up the road, Norwich, Sheffield United, they aren't going to stay there. And if they're there in January, they're going to spend and go above us. So I'm going to say 21st.
Okay. A hopeful 21st. Bill?
I'm still going to go for a top half finish. What the hell? All in.
Okay. Good. All right.
Come on.
All right. In the comments, then, please. Let's hear what you got to say on that one. With it being Bonfire Night this week, we'll ask you which player needs a rocket. Which one in particular? I know there's a few, so but which one in particular? If you could just flick a switch, just get their season going. Which one? Who needs it more than most? Sasha?
It's got to be Colby Bishop. I love him. He can score goals. He just needs to get more.
Jake?
Yeah, I think we need to display more than the rocket, but I think we'll go. I'll say Chaplin. I'm desperate for him to do well, and I think he's desperate to do well, and he's still working hard. It's just not happening for him. So, yeah, let's say Chaplin and hope it turns around for him.
Okay, Sam.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chappers as well. I just once he gets going, the crowd will get behind him, and the crowd will then start. It'll be like the Richie effect. Once they see one of their own get going, it'll spark. So once he finds that spark, he'll go.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I'll go with Chaplin as well. But again, maybe the rocket should be going to Mousinho for playing him out of position all the time. So.
Okay. All right. Again, let us know in the comments which player needs a rocket the most. And before we move on completely, Sasha, from the Birmingham game, I've read a few tweets about the away end. And some fans not being particularly happy with some of the songs being sung. You were there. Did you hear anything which disgusted you at all?
Yeah, there was a few, but it was by a minority. It wasn't the entire away end, being horrible and disgusting. It's a minority. It's not nice, but yeah, it did happen.
Yeah, we don't want to hear stuff like that, so do we? Very much. Right then, it's the A to Z of Pompey. We're up to the letter E this week. Got the first challenge these lads have had. Let's see how well they've done. No AI this week because I'm sick of helping you out. So let's jump straight into it. Phil.
He's quite a difficult one actually. There's not too many. I'm going to go for the gorgeous Gareth Evans. Was here 5 years. Turned into a goal scoring right back. Was drunk on stage and singing songs about hating scummers. What's not to like? So yeah, no, he was a great player as well, actually, in fairness. But
Show. Sam?
I don't know. It's hard to not go with the Eisners at the moment, whether you love them or hate them. They're kind of like Marmite. So yeah, I'll go Eisners.
Fair enough. Yeah, might get some comments on that, but Jake.
Yeah, I was going to say Eisners, but I'll get lynched next time I go to Fratton Park. I think to say that at the moment.
I'm quite far away, so I can refer to it.
Yeah, the Atlantic saving.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will give Johnny Ertel a little mention when we were in League Two. He loved the football club. He was a terrible footballer, but he absolutely loved the club, and he did work really hard for us. But yeah, it feels spot on. Gareth Evans to me.
Okay, Sasha.
Yeah, I agree with Phil. Gareth Evans, he's a club icon, and that moment at Chelsea Common when we won League Two is something I'll never forget.
Okay, brilliant. Have they missed any though? Of course, let us know. Thank you for all your comments the last couple of weeks, of course, as well. Great to have this little community building. Do drop us a quick subscribe and a like before you head off. Yeah, because we're recording this before the Wrexham game, before the whole game, so fingers crossed for 6 points in the bag when we return next week before the international break, of course. Thank you very much, you lot. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in 7 days' time. Have a good week, everyone.